So this is another kind of binding that you can use or do on your quilts. This is one that I have fleece on, and I'm pretty sure you can do this with a flannel one too. So it's got my block in here. It's another different just way. I decreased this to a 1.5, the sashing to a 1.5, and that made it really tiny, but everything else is the same. Okay, and I have I do believe it's a 4-inch border of the red all the way around the black one. And I've quilted this on my tiara because you can tell it's got the meander, which is the up and, it's the curly, it's freehand, okay? One thing I did not do, made sure not to do, is go too close to the border here. Got it? And I have this fabric all the way around, extra past the quilt, all the way around. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to flip the backing back. So I just have this, and I am going to trim my batting out of the way, the white stuff out of the way. Let's move down to get past this. And making sure my backing is not in the way. So this is where you really need to check your, because see when I shifted it, this part moved back in the line of cutting. So I am basically, I'm going to square my quilt, okay, off of my red line with my backing well out of the way, as much out of the way as I can. So right now, it currently sits at, let's check on a, so yeah, it currently sits around 3 and maybe a quarter. So I'm going to shift it down to 3. One, 2, 3. I've got to be careful because I've got this half extra inch. So I'm actually going to adjust and take it to where I know I've got this wonky corner here, but I much prefer to have a direct 3 and 3 for my initial. And I'm making sure it's not going to get in any of my cut, okay? I'm well away from my cut, my edge there. I know this is not going all the way to the end here because I don't have that corner. So I'm going to take it up a bit, forward, and this is when you need to be really cognizant of what your roll or what your cutting feels like. If you feel anything other than this batting and your fabric, you need to stop. Okay. And I'm going to roll this back and cut it and reverse this so I can get this nice edge. Making sure it's lined up on this line and this line. And finish cutting that, okay? Then I will take this all the way around and cut it, fold it under. Make sure it's well under. Now, one spot here, I've got to be very careful because I'm more than 1/8 of an inch away from the edge, but I'm still close to that edge. So I've got my 3-inch line. Yeah, because that's making it pull, but it's still pretty good. Okay. And I'm going to continue around the quilt, and then I'll be back. Okay, so it has been trimmed, all the batting and the edge has been trimmed, and I did cut into the fleece twice, right in the same area. Okay, not sure if I don't want to poke it out too much because they're just sitting right in there, and I'm not going to do anything to that. Okay, right now I'm not going to do anything because I really don't have anything to do them with. Let's see, it is, you need to find your front and your back. Your front, the good side is the sharper side of your fleece. The back side is your, it's more fuzzy. Okay, so you actually want your fuzzy on the top because I'm not really going to stitch and flip. I'm trying out new things here, new kinds of borders, just something that I think would work. I do want to make sure this is going over at least the 2 inches, because remember, this is wider than the other. Actually, what will really help is to get my ruler here, and I'm going to put my ruler where I have one of my lines right on my edge of the quilt. Okay, make sure I didn't flip it. So that when I put this on here, I can line it up at the 1/4 inch marking, okay? See, I might line it up at the 3/8 inch marking or the 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch would be better because that gives me, I'm going to line it up at the 1/2 inch marking. Carefully slide this out and then pin it because I'm not going to put it in reverse and flip it. I'm going to stitch it on this side. So I need to make sure the pin goes all the way through. Then again, line up that line, and I'm going to push it all the way to where my pin is so that I can make sure I'm aligning this correctly. And if I have to adjust like I do now, just do that and pull and repin. Shift it down. Okay. I've got it good all the way across. I'm going to hold this and kind of pull it out. And then pin it. Because what I want to do is this is going to kind of furl up this way on this side of the seam, and I'm going to do another line on that side, and that's where this will come in. And it will make more sense once I show you what I'm doing when I do it, okay? And we can get away with this because fleece doesn't furl, or fleece doesn't fray. But what I would like to do is also try this with flannel. I'm going to do the 2 opposite sides first. Then I'll do the sides. And yes, if I had wanted to, I could have just trimmed these off, this ends off, and cut them in half and then done the same thing and just sewed them on both sides. I'd like to see what the effect is with a smooth back, okay? It might be nice. And then again, I might find that I like the other better. Okay, let me. Okay, that's good. Try that on the right side. So I am going to do that to all 4 sides, and then I'll come back to you, okay? But this gets you started. Okay, so what I have done is this is a 1/2 inch away from my edge here, so you can see. And on the ends here, I've kind of framed it out and pinned it pretty securely so it's not shifting anyway. This side is holding both of these, and so is this one. So what I will do is I will sew like 1/4 inch from that line all the way down. And then once I get back to the beginning, I will shift over and sew another. So I'm going to have 2 rows. I'm going to have one like close to the edge here, and then one just past it, but hopefully still catching the batting here. Okay. But once I actually finish the first row, when it comes around to where it got snipped, I'm going to take a look at that. And it looks like I will most likely do a stitch witchery in it and kind of press the 2 edges together and give me a solid surface to stitch on.